starring Chuck Connors.
Give me a box of shells, 44 caliber.
Well, now, Mr. Halliger, just who do you figure on shooting?
Does it matter?
Just having a little joke.
Jumping catfish. I've never seen anything like that before. What do you suppose it is?
Medicine show, I guess. Something like that. Can you read the sign?
World's greatest mentalist. What does that mean?
Well, that's a fancy name for a mind reader. It means he can tell what you're thinking.
Honest?
Well, that's what he claims, anyway.
Hello there. A good day to you, sir. And more of the same to the young lad.
Hi.
Would you be so kind as to grant an indulgence to a wayfarer?
If you can tell us just how we can help.
A lodestar is what I need at the moment. A beacon, a guidepost. Or have I set me foot upon the high road to nowhere?
Well, that depends on where you're headed, sir.
A place in the wilderness called North Fork.
Are you going to put on a show in North Fork, mister?
That is me fancy. An unforgettable performance. Admission 50 cents, a quarter to Sprott's.
Can you really tell what people are thinking?
The thoughts hidden in men's minds are not secrets to me. You, young man, at this moment are thinking how you may extract a quarter from your pater to buy a ticket for the performance.
He's got a funny way of talking, if you ask me.
Follow me, sir.
Lead on.
Think he got lost?
Oh, no, he'll be along, son. You wouldn't want to stay out here and wait for him, would you?
Sure.
Oh, that's what I figured.
You can't prove anything against Billy, and you know it. He wasn't even in town that night. How could he have killed Dad?
I've only got his word for that.
If it were anybody but Billy Mathis, that would be good enough.
Lucy, you're not being fair. I arrested Billy because he's the only one I know outside of me owns a shotgun. Besides, he had a good reason to do it.
Lucas, you were Billy's friend.
Still am, I hope.
Then do something. Help him.
That's what I came to town for, Lucy. Now, you go on home and stop worrying. If Billy didn't do it, he won't be in jail long.
All right, Lucas. I'm counting on you to get him out. I'm sorry, Micah. It's just that I know that Billy's innocent.
I'm glad you came along when you did, Lucas.
Ah, she's got a lot of faith in that boy.
He's in love with him.
What's he got to say for himself?
Says his shotgun was stolen from him. Other than that, he just sits in his cell and stares at the ceiling. Maybe you can get something more out of him. Come on. You got some more company, boy.
How are you, Billy?
Expect an answer to that?
I didn't ask to hear my head roar.
If I got free lodging and 3 meals a day, what more can a man ask?
I've heard all this before. I'll be in the office.
Did you bushwhack John Halliger?
What difference does that make?
Get on your feet when you talk to me. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, not to me it isn't. I'm still looking out through the bars.
They tell me Halliger was in the hardware buying shells just before he was shot.
So I heard.
Was that because of you?
He never made no secret about what he'd do if he caught me seeing Lucy again.
Were you seeing Lucy?
Yeah.
Where were you Saturday night?
I was sitting on a rock 4 miles out of town. I was there from sundown till near midnight.
Waiting for Lucy, huh?
Yeah, she never showed up. Nobody did. So if it's an alibi you're looking for, you're gonna have to get it from a couple of prairie dogs.
What did Halliger have against you, Billy?
You know what it was. No daughter of his is gonna marry a $40 a month cowhand. Oh, no. No, you gotta own 1,000 head of blooded stock for it to even let you talk to her. He had no use for me, I knew that.
What makes it so bad for you is that he was killed with a shotgun and yours is missing. Now, I'd like to hear you tell me you didn't do it, Billy.
You show me how that'll get me out of here and I'll say it.
Well, did you get any place?
Well, not so far. I couldn't walk back. You know, Mikey, he was always a hard-nosed kid. Now, I can see him killing John Halliger, all right. But not from ambush. And I don't think he'd use a shotgun.
Hey, Paul, you just came in this minute.
Who?
Well, James Barrow McBride. Who do you think?
Oh, good.
What am I going to do, Lucas? I don't have any real proof against the kid. Maybe he didn't do it. And you suppose the rest of man on evidence, not motives. If I could just see into his mind.
Well, say, why don't you get James Barrow McBride to do it? He's a mind reader.
Well, I'm afraid he couldn't help much, son.
Well, he is a mind reader.
Mark, will you
isn't he?
wait outside, please?
Yes, sir.
Just sign the register and pick out an empty room. They're all horse stalls anyway.
You just mind your tongue, Joe Hyatt.
I take it, sir, you are not an employee of this caravanserai.
He's employed to keep that chair from walking away.
I don't suppose you'd be interested in a friendly little game, would you?
Unfortunately, the element of chance does not enter into any game in which I engage.
What is this, a debating society or a poker game?
What's the matter, Posh? No sporting blood?
Would you be good enough to hang this in the window for me?
A mind reader.
Boy,
Yes, sir.
don't loiter in the doorway. Come over here. You strike me as a lad who'd recognize a business opportunity should you hear of one. Would you consider a free admission to the performance as adequate compensation for posting these show cards about town?
No, sir.
Eh? What's that?
Well, I might do it for 2 tickets.
You're not a road agent in disguise, are you, my boy? Well, all right. Here. And see that they're all adequately displayed.
I sure will. Paul, look what I got. 2 tickets to the show. Now all I've got to do is hang these posters.
Well, son, that show's not till tonight. I was planning on being back at the ranch long before that.
Oh. Well, if you couldn't see your way clear to staying in town, well, I'd be glad to give you one of the tickets. Could you, Paul?
Well, I don't see how a man can turn down an invite like that. All right.
Yahoo!
Mark! My ticket.
Oh.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have inscribed upon those tiny slips of paper the questions, the problems, the riddles of life which you have so long wished to know, I shall attempt to reveal the answers to you. Kindly fold your slips twice and deposit them in the basket which is being passed among you. Owing to the brevity of the time that I am privileged to be with you, it will be impossible for me to give you my answers to each of you privately. But have no fear, ladies and gentlemen. I shall express myself in such a manner that only the asker of the question shall know to whom I speak. Due to the natural skepticism of those among you who question the ability to read minds, I shall ask those of you who wish to acknowledge your questions to do so after I have given you the answers. Thank you, sir. And to answer the question that is uppermost in your mind, for your kind assistance, yes, you will receive your reward. In the next world. You will notice, ladies and gentlemen, that I do not read the question beforehand. I simply place it to my temple. And the mind draws in the vibration. Yes, it is coming through to me. A lady wants to know if her husband's trips to Amarillo are entirely business. The answer is yes, madam, of one kind or another. That is the question, precisely. Now I am asked, who has been stealing liquor from the back of my saloon? The saloon in question is the Last Chance. And the only answer I can honorably give to the proprietor is this. When a man has the biggest thirst and the smallest purse in North Fork, what else can he do but steal his liquor? The next question asks, who killed John Halliger? The shotgun that killed John Halliger was fired from the alley next to the Last Chance. After the foul deed, the murderer ran to a horse that was waiting at the rear of the saloon and fled. But this is a matter for the authorities. It would be improper to say more than this. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak. Good evening, Marshal. And you, sir. I trust you enjoyed the performance.
It was pretty good.
We just kind of like to know where you got all that stuff.
I can give no other explanation for my unique talent except that I am the seventh son of the seventh son. Whether that accounts for it, I cannot say.
Wouldn't be just a trick, would it?
I believe you witnessed the demonstration, Marshal. Judge for yourself.
Yeah, the marshal would like to know more about the Halliger murder.
Gentlemen, I can add nothing to what I said during the performance. I was speaking of vibrations from someone in the audience. Abruptly, they grew weak and faded out.
Are you saying the murderer was here tonight?
Possibly. Yes, quite possibly. Or it may have been merely a witness to the foul deed.
What did you mean by murder will speak?
Merely a line I borrowed from the immortal bard.
Tell me something, Mr. McBride. If you were to come face to face with a man suspected of killing Halliger, could you pick up any vibrations?
I hear the science of telepathy has not yet received universal acceptance. My testimony would have no standing in a court of law.
I'd cooperate in full, was I you, McBride?
What do you say, McBride? Will you come over to the jail with us?
Tonight? No, gentlemen, the mind is too weary. The chance of a mistake would be too great with a man's life at stake. Tomorrow morning, when I'm fresh, yes, quite possibly. I could help you then.
Just make sure you'll be there. You'll come along and be a witness, won't you, Lucas?
Yes, I'll be there as soon as I get Mark off to school. 9 o'clock, Mr. McBride?
I shall be at your service, sir. Lucas?
looks like Billy's eating pretty well these days.
I want him to know that he still has one friend left.
Now, Lucy, we're doing the best we can.
Thank you, Lucas. But he's still in jail.
Oh, Lucas! And it looks like you had a trip to town for nothing.
How's that?
Mr. McBride skulked out in the middle of the night. I've telegraphed every place he might show up in. When I find him, I'm going to drag him right back here.
Michael, may I take this into Billy?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, Micah McBride couldn't have done us any good anyway.
How do you know all those facts?
Well, I thought about that. He was in town 6 hours, right? Well, you keep your eyes open and your ears cleaned out. You're bound to pick up some gossip in that time.
Well, that may be so, but whoever killed John Halligan ain't likely to be telling it around.
And just the same, I think we ought to find out who McBride did talk to yesterday.
Well, the hotel's as good a place as any to start. I'll be along as soon as I send Lucy home.
Lucas, why don't you put that squirrel gun in the corner and try your luck?
Now, Joe, you know luck's got nothing to do with any game you deal.
Beginning to think that myself.
Well, now, don't give the city man ideas, Lucas. This is Mr. Fogarty, and he sells knives.
Finest steel made.
What brings you into town so early, Lucas?
Wanted to talk to that mind-reading fella.
Eye open. Oh, he's long gone.
Oh, I know.
Should have left 3 days ago myself.
That old boy kind of shook things up last night, didn't he? You figure all he said about Halligan was just a stab in the dark?
It could be. Or he could have talked to someone. Did he try to pump you for any gossip, Joe?
Nope.
Deal the cards.
Don't figure he pumped anybody else. I saw him go up to his room shortly after he registered. He didn't come down again until it was time for his show.
You sure? He might have gone out when you weren't looking.
Lucas, nobody gets past me. You never know who's got a couple of dollars to donate. Well, take you, for instance.
You'd like to take me, wouldn't you, Joe? Hello, Eddie.
Good morning, Lucas.
Can I look at the register?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Billy, you're free, but you'll never get away with it. That goes for you, too, Lucy.
Lucy, this is going to go bad for you.
Go on, Billy. Don't worry about me. Lucas McCain's horse is tied up out front. Get out of here, Billy!
Billy, use your head! Billy, hold up!
Lucy, you're a fool.
Oh, what did you want me to do? Leave him in there to hang?
Even if he killed your own father?
He didn't. I know he didn't.
An innocent man doesn't run, Lucy.
I've got $50. Says they'll bring him in slung over a sack.
Oh. Pardon me. Can you spare a few minutes, Mr. Fogarty?
Well, actually, I was just about ready to leave, but...
I was just wondering if you were at the show last night.
No, sir, I wasn't.
That's too bad. You should have been there. It was mighty interesting. This James Barrow McBride seems to know all the secrets in town.
Don't you believe in mind reading, Mr. McCain?
No. Do you?
Well, I've heard stories about horses and dogs that were taken hundreds of miles away from their homes and managed to find their way back by themselves. I can't explain that. Can you?
Well, if a horse could talk, I might find out. No, people are more interested in finding out where McBride gets all his information. Now, I've got an explanation. Oh, I couldn't prove it, of course. But, Mr. Fogarty, would you like to hear it? You see, I figure every town McBride performed in had already been visited by someone else Who got there maybe a day or so in advance. It's like a salesman, for instance. Now, if this salesman did a little bit of talking, a lot of listening, he could pick up some mighty interesting gossip. He might even learn about John Halliger's murder.
Are you accusing me of it?
Oh, no, Mr. Fogarty. I'm just trying to keep you out of jail as a witness. Now, do you want to tell me or the marshal?
I knew I shouldn't have stuck around here trying to win my money back. All right, let's keep it friendly. I got it from an old character that hangs around the saloon, cadging drinks.
Ed Osborne?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the best source of information in town is usually the town drunk, and I don't know how much more Osborne knew. He passed out on me about that time, but he's the one that told me.
Morning, Lucas.
Ed, I want you to tell me all you know about John Halliger's murder.
What? I don't know what you mean, Lucas. How would I know anything of it? Oh, you're joking, aren't you, Lucas?
You talk too much to that salesman, Ed. Did you kill Halliger?
Me? That's foolish, Lucas. I never killed nobody in my whole life. You know that.
And then you saw something you weren't supposed to. Were you in the alley that night?
Yeah. I was there. He never seen me in the dark, though. I never seen him neither till that shotgun went off. Scared. Have you ever had a shotgun go off back of you?
Why didn't you tell that to the marshal?
I was afraid to, Lucas. The reason I was hiding there, I'm the one who's been stealing the liquor from the saloon.
Who fired the gun? Was it Billy Mathis?
I don't know, and that's the truth. All I seen was somebody run out to a horse and ride out of there.
Nothing else?
That's all, so help me. Oh, wait. No, I remember he clinked when he ran.
Clinked?
Yeah, like he had a pocket full of silver dollars. Not just a couple, a whole pocket full.
Nobody carries that much. Unless he just won a pot in a poker game.
Don't move around, Lucas. I'll kill you if you do. You were just about to come up with my name, now weren't you, Lucas?
Matter of fact, I was. Why'd you do it, Joe?
A little argument over some marked cards. I heard he was gunning for me.
Pretty poor reason to ambush a man.
Good enough reason for me. Anyway, I don't see any of the townspeople grieving for him.
And you were gonna let Billy Mathis swing for it, huh?
That's right. I thought that was a real good idea of mine, using his gun. He don't mean nothing to me. Neither do you. Or that slack-mouthed drunkard there. I think I better take that rifle, Lucas. And do it slow and easy. Just give it here.
Mark, what are you hammering?
I'm hanging up my poster.
What poster?
James Barrow McBride's.
Why don't you give that to Lucy and Billy for a wedding present?
Oh, I got another one for them. You know, I just might be a mind reader when I grow up.
Oh? Now you listen to me, boy. A man who learns to see and hear and think will beat a mind reader 6 ways to Tuesday. So while you're waiting to grow up, you just be a book reader. And that means...
Get in the house and do my homework. A man don't need to be a mind reader around here.